All praise to Yahweh Shai. Double honors to Apostles of Great Millstone. And shalom to you brothers out there doing the work, man. In season, out of season, not wavering. This is the brother Kanat. I just want to go into this lesson, help brothers out. This is a very simple scripture, but it's a very deep, heavy scripture that you have to meditate on daily, and just to get the understanding, because it's very heavy because your everyday life, your everyday walk, with the Yahweh Shai, you have to be basically applying these principles, And let me get a scripture first, just kind of set the background to the lesson. I'm going to go in Joshua, the first chapter, just to kind of get an understanding of what I'm talking about before we go into Matthew, the sixth chapter. And this is Joshua 1 and 8. And it says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night." And that's mainly what I wanted to get, is that word meditate. We're going to come back there. It says that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein, for then thou shalt make thy ways prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. So these are the prerequisites, okay, as far as being prosperous and having good success in your walk in your truth, not on a worldly aspect, which the Most High can bless you with worldly possessions, but we're talking about these spiritual blessings, these spiritual gifts that the Most High will deal with you once you start supping with Yahweh Shai, which is the scriptures. Now it says the book of the law, but we know that the Lord comes in the volume of the book, so it's the old and the new. So I want to go back into up here in the word meditate. It says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night." Okay, day and night. This scripture, Matthew 6:33, that we're going to read, you got to meditate on this scripture day and night, because it's a very, very important scripture, because you got to kind of keep yourself in place. And these scriptures are they're like the measuring sticks, to how to guide your life. So let me get right into the scripture. This is Matthew 6:33. It says, "But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High," which is going into all the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures, which is Yahweh Shai, "and his righteousness," okay, "and all these things shall be added unto you," And this is what we have to do. We have to understand that we're not supposed to take on worldly possessions willingly. You're not supposed to lust after these worldly possessions, but when you do, you have to what? You have to come back and meditate to the scripture. Meditate on the scriptures. What does the scripture say? Because all these things of the world will destroy you. But the scriptures here say, "Seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High." And basically, once you do that, once you're in the scriptures, right? Once you're in the scriptures, breaking down the scriptures the right way, doing what Yahweh Shai told us to do through his Father, then that's when the Father starts dealing with you through Yahweh Shai, right? And then you start getting all these spiritual blessings. Because we weren't set up here to prosper here in America. And that's what a lot of they feel like they need to fit in with the crowd, when everything here in America is wickedness. It's totally against the scriptures. Okay, you got homosexuality. That's one of the chief sins that America has taken on, the customs, and the scriptures tell you what's going to happen to people who does this. Man, they should surely be put to death, and their blood shall be on their hands. But this is the mind frame that you got to be in, Matthew 6:33. "But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High." Right? You got to seek the kingdom of the Most High going into these scriptures, because everything else outside of that is vanity, man. If it doesn't add up to basically edifying the brotherhood and building up your spirit and your faith, because all these things that you want, the Lord is going to give to you, okay, by keeping His word, seeking Him first, because if you understand that the Most High controls everything, right, then you will understand that every move in your life is controlled by the Most High. So you trying to willingly force something, putting your effort into something that the Most High can easily give you. You should be storing up your treasures in heaven, like the scriptures say. Okay, and we'll go right. Let me bring out the scripture. It's in this chapter, Matthew 6, right? Like the type of mind frame that you have to have to understand. Like there's a lot of, especially a lot of young jakes, and this goes for all jakes. It don't really necessarily have to be young, but it's a lot of younger jakes, right? They're very susceptible to the worldly pleasures of this world, and this is something that you have to basically deny yourself, and and it's hard, but through the Spirit of the Lord, if you're part of the elect, you're going to be able to do it. The Most High is going to give you those tools to be able to finish that job. Okay, and that's what Paul said. Let me before I get to scripture, because the Most High gave the tools to Paul to finish the job, and Paul was dedicated. You know, he went hard. That's why the apostles are so on all the other camps and all the other brothers that doing these videos, do these live shows, edify more, because you know we're at the end of this thing, you know, and we got to all come in that spirit of Paul. We can't be sluggards, man. You know, how are we supposed to be? How are we supposed to be the elect, the hopeful elect of the nation, but you got sluggards within the nation, man? The Lord is going to kill off all the sluggards, all the people that don't want to study, all the people that don't want to read, all the people that still attached to the world. You know, the Lord's going to kill them. So how do you think that you're going to make it? You know. So let me get the scripture. I believe it's you know. Let's go into Paul. Select computer running slow. Let me see. Because how Paul's mind frame was, you know, hey, I finished my course, man. I ran the race, because he was likening it to sports, you know. And if you know anything about sports or any type of competition, you know there's a lot of training and practice that you have to do. And then when you get into game day, so to speak, you know you have to finish the race. You can't mess around, you know, because everything else would have been in vain. If you're supposed to be training, but you're attached to these things in the world that will slow you down from basically achieving things that you're supposed to achieve, then these are the things that's going to stop you from being and having. That's going to stop you from making it to the top and having a level of success, you know. And how do you do that, man? You can't do it on your own will. That's why the Lord gave us the Comforter, which is Yahushua, the book, man. The Lord gave us the book. He gave us the book to read the book, to comfort us when we're down, okay? To feed us when we're hungry, man. And to give us drink when we're thirsty, man. These are all, this is medicine, man. This is food, this is medicine, this is comfort, you know. It's history, it's laws, statutes, and commandments, you know, it's prophecies, chiefly. But the book, the whole book, it's a basically embodiment of Yahushua, man. And the word was made flesh, man, which is Yahushua. So let's go 2 Timothy 4 and 7, right? And it says, I have fought a good fight, man. Like I said, Paul was likening it unto a fight. Because this is a fight. It's a fight with the flesh and your spirit, you know, because your flesh wants to do right, you know. Your flesh, it's like your spirit wants to do right, but your flesh wants to do all these wrong things, you know. Your flesh wants to go off. So it's a constant battle with your flesh and your spirit to stay on course. It says, I have finished my course. What course has he finished? The Lord gave him instructions what to do, man, and he said, I have finished. I have finished my course. I have done everything that I needed to do, that the Lord set me up to do. And he says, I have kept the faith. That's the chief thing that you want to be praying for, man. It's faith, because the scriptures do say, it says, through this the stability of our times, you know. Let me get the scripture. I don't want to quote the scripture wrong, because it's Isaiah 33. Right. It says, let me go right into the scripture. It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Because let's go into that word stability, man. What is that word stability when you go into the Hebrew, right? When you go into it, it means, you know, your firmness, steadfastness, faithful. You kept your faith. The faith. That's why I said it's very important to keep your faith. So it says the wisdom and knowledge, faith, right? If you add that word in where stability is, right? Because when you have stability, you're stable and you're grounded, which is you're grounded in faith, right? It says wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability, shall be the faith of thy time. Because when all this hell breaks loose and demons start trying to infiltrate your mind, right? what's gonna help you? What's gonna stop them demons, man? Faith in the Lord, faith in that the words in the book is true. You know, and Paul was like, hey man, look, I fought a good fight, man. I did everything that Yahweh Shai told me to do. Now you have to ask yourself, are you doing everything that Yahweh Shai told you that you need to do? Are you following his example? Are you following all the prophets' examples? Okay? To death, man. Are you following the preach the word unto death? Are you following those examples? You know? You have to ask yourself things. That's why going back into Matthew 6:33, it's a very hard road, you know? It says, but seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High, and all its righteousness and all these things shall be added unto you, man. Because you're gonna inherit the kingdom of the Most High, the kingdom of heaven, man. The land of flowing with milk and honey, man. The whole universe. You're gonna inherit these things if you keep fast, right? Keep your faith. Keep your faith, like Paul said, right? You fought the good fight, man. Can nobody say anything about you, man? You're like, hey, man, I fought a good fight. If you have to be a model for the Most High, you're like, hey, I'm gonna be a model for the Most High, right? So let me go into, and I wanted to go back up to Matthew the 6th chapter because this is the mind frame that you gotta have in this truth. So, and what should you be praying for? The scriptures tell you how you should be praying, and the thing that you should pray for. And I just want to get this one verse, and when it's going into the Lord's prayer, right, in the Matthew the 6th chapter. So any brothers struggling on prayer and what things to say to the Most High, go into Matthew the sixth chapter and go and start at the start at the top verse, but start at 6 and 5, and gives you kind of like a background of how you should pray and what to do and what not to do, you know. And this is one of the things that the Most High and the 11th verse says is give us this day our daily bread. You know, that's what we should be worrying about. I understand, you know, you want the Ferraris, you want the big house, you know, you want all the finer things in life, but for the most part, these things attract more attention to yourself. You attract more finer women. You know, you get more respect out of people. You're more on a social higher status than others. It gives you a sense of, uh, how I want to say, it gives you a sense of like worthiness, you know, in this society. You know, that you're worth something because the amount of dollars that you can basically portray that you have, you know. But it's not about that, man. It's about seeking first the kingdom of the Most High, man, because you're gonna be made low, man. You're not gonna be this top guy with multi-millionaire guy, multi-billionaire, you know. These are all the wiles of the devil, thinking that these are the things that you need to succeed in this kingdom, man. But it's not so. I'm gonna close it up on I'm gonna hit one more verse. We might go into another one, Lord willing. But you know, brothers need to be meditating on these scriptures, man. Matthew the 6th chapter is a very heavy verse, man. Especially, you know, going into, you know, loving out this world. You know, loving out this world, and and doing the things that the Most High wants you to do, which is not, it's totally contrary to what the world wants you to do. You know, and you're being pushed in that direction of destruction from the world, i.e., it be your mother, your family, your wife, your friends, your coworkers, your job, your school, and then demons that are trying to infiltrate your mind, trying to tell you, hey, look, man, this is not the truth. Once you just go to college, you know, once you just marry her, you know, she's only has sex with 50 dudes. You know, that's good in America. You know, settle for this, right? Do everything outside. Do everything outside. What you need to be doing is truth. Seeking the kingdom of the Most High, seeking His wisdom, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Most High, trying to get closer to the Most High, you know? Let me go. I'm going to go into this last verse, Lord willing, you know? And just keep in mind that these are some of the things that we have to do on a daily basis, right? So let me go right into it. It says Luke 14:27, and whosoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple, man. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it? Least happily after he hath laid the foundation, is not able to finish it, and behold, it began begin to mock him, saying, "This man began to build and was not able to finish." Right. And exactly, man. You're gonna get mocked, bro, because you came into this thing. You weren't able to bear the cross of Yahweh Shai. You wasn't willing to bear the cross. You weren't willing to make videos. You weren't willing to put in those extra hours reading. You weren't willing to go and do the knowledge. I mean, the research. You weren't willing to do the reading. You weren't willing to do all these things to be a disciple of Yahweh Shai. You wasn't willing to cut off people out of your life that's going to basically bring you down, that are just demons. You wanted to feel comfortable in this world. You wanted to keep that job so you can keep that extra money. So you can keep that car, so you can keep that woman, to keep that woman happy, man. But these guys that do these things, you see that they when they was building the tower, they wasn't sitting down saying, "Hey, man, can I finish this? Can I finish this? Do I have the cost? Am I willing to pay my time into this, my blood, sweat, and tears? Am I willing to do the studying?" They weren't, like the scripture said, man. They, for at least happily, after he had laid the foundation, is not able to finish it, and behold, it began to mock him. Other people gonna, well, that's what we gonna do, man. We gonna mock these niggas that fall out of the truth. Okay, we gonna mock these niggas that think that they were on a level when really they were just demons, and they had no understanding, they had no foundation. So especially a lot of young brothers, they got to get that foundation first. You got to close your mouth, and you got one mouth and two ears, man. You got to be taking notes and you got to be listening. You can't be running your mouth, putting your 2 cents into something, okay? Because you got to get a foundation first, man. Because you running your mouth and you don't even have a foundation, and Satan gonna come and sweep you away because you wasn't built up in the spirit, So with that, man, I hope all brothers, meditate on this scripture, Matthew the 6th chapter, 33rd verse. It's a very heavy scripture, You got to apply it, you got to apply it in your life. You just can't read the scriptures on face value and then don't apply it, and it doesn't mean anything. You're just reading words on a piece of paper, So you got to apply these scriptures in your life, man. And it's going to be a hard road, but you know what? If it was hard, man, if it wasn't hard, everybody would do it, man. But the Most High set up elect men. He only set up 144,000. So you gotta be focused. We're coming to the time of focus. We're coming into the time where you can't play around, you can't slack, because a lot of house cleaning is happening. So with that, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shai. I want to say Shalom.